I, 32M, don't like my wife, 32F, who is now pregnant. I don't even know where to start. It starts like almost every other story. We dated for about 2 years and things were pretty good. We hung out, talked and did things. We've been married 4 years now and I'm at a point where I'm genuinely just tired being around her. I have no interest in talking to her or interacting. I think I genuinely hate being in the same room as her. We had 3 or 4 fights when dating and only twice did she behave irrationally. It passed fairly quick so I always chalked it up to stress. It's like the moment we got married and moved in together, the floodgates opened. She would nag and pick fights over minor things like shoes not being in the right place or dishes not being done when she thought they should be done. I'm not a dirty person by any measure, so it was always confusing, especially when she seemed to have no problem leaving dishes in the sink for extended periods. She would come home from work and the air would be thick with her negative energy and she always seemed to find a way to make something my fault. I always chalked it up to stress over a bad job, or doing immigration paperwork or being away from family. She spared no time in complaining about any of it, but I always tried to listen and be supportive. I held out hope thinking that once everything was settled it would stop. But with every issue that was resolved a new problem would arise. The asshole at work would leave only for a new asshole to show up. It's like her mind is just wired to find problems. We eventually stopped going out and doing fun things because she'd often complain. If we went bowling and she wasn't doing well she'd shut down and literally be mad about it for days. Just sucks the fun out of everything. Traveling became the same. I should mention that when she would get upset she'd give me the silent treatment for days on end but would stomp around the place trying to make sure I was aware of it. I used to play along, would try to get her to talk and see if we could communicate, and over time it's gotten better, but I've been worn down to the point I don't have patience for it anymore. Now if she gets into those moods I just leave her alone. It's hard for me to really focus on anything because she has nothing to do, so she'll start poking, prodding and finding ways to distract me. If I'm absorbed in anything too long and she's trying to get my attention she'll view it as me intentionally ignoring her and go into a mood. I feel alone when making decisions because she just leaves everything up to me. Like if we need to move, she'll say we need to move then literally wait for me to start doing everything. Sex has completely fallen off. Not that it was that great to begin with. She's never once initiated and looked at me like a crazy person when I tried to talk about it. Every time we talk, it's always an agreement to make things better, but then she'll do nothing. When we were talking about kids it was the same thing. She'd say she wants a baby then make no effort to have sex but would be mad at me for not trying to get her pregnant. Before she got pregnant I was honestly considering leaving. I just didn't know how to leave exactly. Then COVID hit. We had sex for the first time in months and surprise she got pregnant. Honestly my stomach sank. I'm fine with having a kid. Just the idea of raising one with her when it feels like she's done not much but stress my life the last 4 years makes me feel ill. It's like there's nothing to look forward to. Having a kid should be exciting but all I can think about is the stress I'll have to endure because of her. I'm not happy. It's really hard for me to admit that because I always try to be positive. But I am just not happy. I don't want to have a kid with her but I also don't want to be a bad father. I'm tired of having someone with hardly a positive bone in their body in my life. I just want to enjoy my life again. TL, Doctor, 4 years of being with my wife has mostly been stressful. I'm just tired and want to leave but she's 6 months pregnant now so I feel stuck. Marital counseling and individual counseling for you. Marital counseling can help the both of you, and then in your individual counseling your counselor/therapist can help you with how to best bring these things up in marital counseling with her. It may not solve everything but it will be a start. I mean, if you hate her you shouldn't have been fucking her to get her pregnant. There are so many things wrong in this relationship. I'm sorry she's pregnant, which makes all of this harder, but you still should talk to a lawyer and organize a divorce. You can still be involved and a good father, which is something you need to talk to a lawyer about, but you have a completely dysfunctional relationship, and it's unlikely it can be fixed. You will be better off raising your child without trying to maintain this broken relationship, and it will give your child a home with you at least part of the time that is separate from the problems your wife will cause. You don't stay with someone just because they have a baby. I read your post and kinda want to shake you. Take control of your life. Don't just sit there and accept what's happening. Get yourself to therapy, have couples counseling if she will. Even if you separate, it will be helpful when co-parenting. Why in the world did you get her pregnant if you were considering leaving her before? You messed up, dude. My 32M girlfriend, 38F, is strangely jealous of my adopted cat, 4M. What do I even do? Too long didn't read. My 10-month serious girlfriend got strangely jealous of a cat I recently adopted, and I am not sure where to go from here. I met my girlfriend earlier this year during the beginning of the pandemic. We talked for hours and finally met when the situation eased up in my country. We are a bit far apart, and I have always been busy with work. We still chatted on the phone about 3 nights a week for several hours at a time. We have met each other's parents and family, and are thinking this might be serious. Heck, she even accepts me for being a bisexual workaholic with weird hobbies. However, a few months ago, a stray cat passed out in front of my house. Took him to the vet and he suffered from blood parasite, so I paid for his treatment. He went on an on and off partnership with me for a while, before finally becoming my cat. She was against me on this, even directly asked me to not get a cat. But we didn't live together, and we aren't now, and the cat would have died if I didn't help. At one point, she cried because she asked me about a romantic dinner and I joked that I would check for the price, which is not that expensive at all. And she was angry because I paid for the cat's treatments without question. Today, after a long day of work, I got home and let her know by text message. We chatted for 20 minutes and I went and fed my cat. She noticed that I was gone for 2 minutes and asked if I was with the cat. I admitted that I was feeding her. 2 minutes. She got mad because I just said hi, then went and spent all these time with my cat. She said she understood but made a lot of passive-aggressive remarks about this, like, oh, can the cat be hungry for just a little longer? The cat will be with you all night but I'm only have this time. Or please don't let me get between you and your cat. All followed by JK or lol. It was an extremely weird vibe. I mean, I planned to give the cat away once he's healed up, but I'm a little concerned about her reactions on this. She is a lovely woman and we planned a future together, but I feel like this is pointing out some underlying problems. Should I be worried? Or is this my fault because I have been ignoring what she needs, whatever that is? Thanks, folks. Oh, this is a huge red flag. She gets jealous of a cat. What if you spend time with your friends or family? Lol. At the very least I would address this with her because you're right for being weirded out. She might just hate cats and hates that you now have one. Depending on the strength of her feelings, she might be resentful and hoping that you will get rid of it. She has had nearly 4 decades of practice communicating that in actual words, though. Not only is she jealous of a cat, let that sink in, a cat, but she can't even be straightforward and honest with her feelings and hides it behind JKJJJKJK lolls. She's 38, this won't get better. Keep the little kitty. This is incredibly immature behavior from someone who is almost 40. Wow. I wouldn't put up with that shit. The girlfriend, keep the cat lol. Wow, I didn't even read the age and thought she was like 23. Big yikes. This is one of those situations where the universe gives you a big warning while you still have time to do something about it. You appear to be dating someone with the emotional maturity of a toddler, who was doing a very good job hiding it. If you hadn't got this cat you would have only enmeshed your lives further, making a split difficult. The choice to continue this relationship is yours, but be mindful you're still in the honeymoon period. Both partners are more likely to be on their best behavior. Best behavior is being jealous of an animal who you had the means to help. How can I, 40F, best help my daughter, 18F, deal with heartbreak. It's just been the two of us for the past 12 years as her dad and I divorced when she was young. I know this affected her despite my best efforts because he didn't remain very involved in her life. At this point she hasn't seen him in 2 years. I was always terrified she'd grow up with daddy issues. She's been in therapy since she was 15. She is both today I fucked up but has serious self-esteem issues. She was very depressed as a younger teenager and has been on medication since then. She experienced some mean girl type bullying in grade 8 and shut down. Never had any friends at all in high school. She's very introverted and shy and extremely sensitive and interprets many things as humiliating. I tried hard to help her, made sure to build up her self-esteem, exposed her to anything she showed interest in, music, baking, crafting, talked to her a lot about life, people, relationships, etc. I was her buddy to try to avoid her feeling totally alone. We'd go to movies, out for brunch, shopping, etc. Honestly, I put my own life on hold, happily, so I could keep her busy. She's 18 now and has a part-time job while finishing high school. She also hasn't made any friends at the job. In fact, she's also experienced the unpleasant situation of other girls at work gossiping behind her back. So common. I know probably all adults have dealt with this crap, but she takes things to heart. She's so quiet and she doesn't know how to make small talk. I've tried to help in that area too, but she kind of rolls her eyes at my suggestions lol. She met a boy, 21, in November who asked her out. I was very nervous but also happy for her. She got some confidence. She was having fun. And I was not strict. Note, where we live COVID has not shut our city down, so she isn't breaking any rules in seeing him. Lately I've been seeing that he's pulling away. I've been so worried for her because she keeps downplaying it. He keeps breaking dates last minute with excuses that are very flimsy. I didn't want to embarrass her by saying straight out that he's not being honest. But now it's pretty obvious he's just not interested anymore. He's the first guy she's liked ever. Of course it's not serious, but I know how bad it hurts at that age. I know we all have to go through it. But my heart is breaking for her, seeing her all dressed up waiting for him, only for him to text 5 minutes before he's supposed to arrive saying something came up. I'm just so scared this will further damage her self-esteem and confidence, or maybe even cause the depression to come back. I don't want her thinking anything is wrong with her, but I know she will. Any idea what I can do? What I can say to her? Any good movies she can watch? I'm just a very worried mom. Too long didn't read. Daughter's boyfriend is clearly losing interest and her self-esteem and confidence was already shaky. I'm scared this will further damage her. Teach her to stand up for herself. Tell her he ain't shit anyway, order a pizza, throw on a chick flick and just chill with her. We all had to go through heartbreak. If you make a big deal about it, so will she. You seem like a good intentioned mom who's readily available to talk whenever she wants to. So just trust that she will when and if she's ready. Unfortunately we have to learn to deal with our emotions as adults. As long as she knows mama has her back, there's not much more you can do while she rides that roller coaster of emotions. It's just one of many situations you won't be able to fix for her, and she'll learn to work through it herself, and that pain, especially over boys, is temporary. Trust she's stronger than what you think she is. Your daughter's experiences sound quite similar to my 16-year-old, who also has diagnosed anxiety and depression and is medicated, though she's less introverted than your daughter. I've recently learned a huge lesson. My worrying for her isn't going to help her at all. In fact, it, unintentionally, sends the message that I don't trust her to be okay, or that she's smart and strong enough to get though and work things out. My worrying has actually contributed to her lack of resilience. Yowza. That one really hurt to learn. Acknowledge her pain, but don't catastrophize it or wallow in it with slash for her. You sound so self-aware and on top of everything she needs, so consider letting her know that it's part of life and she'll be stronger for the experience. Wishing you both the best.